Imagine living in a world where 1 out of every 5 adults in the United States carried a firearm. Now also imagine 1 out of every 10 young adults walking around your neighborhood carrying that same firearm. How many of our families, our children, our friends do we have to lose to gun violence for a change to be needed within our country? Yes, the Second Amendment does state that we have the right to keep and bear arms, but we need to have an understanding of the amendment at hand. Over the past year, I've lost 2 friends to senseless gun violence. One got her life taken by someone she knew, and also another got taken by a drive-by shooting. The crime rate due to gun violence is growing in the United States, as well as in my own city. What I will be discussing today is gun violence within the United States as well as Topeka, Kansas. Families that have lost loved ones, friends, and families to gun violence, and also a change that is needed in our societies. It is said that gun violence in the United States is decreasing. So why does it seem more on the news that gun violence is increasing due to deaths? Gun violence shows researchers in 2002 for firearm of homicide states that 10,801 deaths were from firearm. That is a large ratio. As well as U.S. males rank the highest homicide rate, and female rates are increasing with knowing their killer. In contrast, researchers also say between 25 to 75 lives are saved by a gun for every loss of a gun. Ratio between the two can't compare to the loss of the lives that we experience to gun violence. The Supreme Court debates say that guns, disproportionately handguns, are used in connection with most serious crimes. Using guns for power or for safety is still a question asked in today's society. What I have here are 2 graphs that show the ratio between homicide rates as well as just total deaths from firearms. Here I have a big proportion of ratios that states the homicide rates from firearms. The one I want you to focus mostly is the one on the bottom, is total deaths between ages of 15 through 19. The homicide rate for that due to firearm is 62%. Also, homicide rates between the ages of 15 through 24. They are the leading cause, and it seems over the years have expanded. In addition, many families known personally as well as around the world have lost loved ones to gun violence. Personal interview with a close friend lost a daughter to gun violence. I did a personal interview with Tanya Boyd. I asked her how did she feel about the loss of her child as well as gun violence in our society, and she states, "I felt like everything bad was happening to me for a reason, and I didn't know why. I lost my oldest daughter to murder. Now I got my granddaughters to look over. I lost my son's closest friend to a drive-by shooting. I prayed more to God for help, and today I know God is good. I never and will give up faith." Hard as it was for her, as well as hard for me to cope with the loss that happened. She lost her daughter to senseless gun violence by her daughter's ex-boyfriend last October. Less than a year later, she lost another friend recently to a drive-by shooting. Violence Policy Center states that more than 12 times as many females were murdered to a male they know rather than killed by a male stranger. Seeing violence hit home changes perspective. Live interviews in reality takes a big turn and a hope for change needed. With this being said, change is needed against gun violence. CJOnline.com states that in 2003, Kansas law enforcement promotes a national media campaign. It promotes the federal Project Safe Neighborhoods program, which helps law officers as well as the legal system work together to strictly enforce gun laws. We also have the Brady campaign that promotes to eliminate firearms from civilians and make society safer. Those are just a few leading to change that is needed within our society. In conclusion, I've spoke about gun violence, I've spoke about families to the loss of gun violence, as well as a change needed within our communities. It seems gun violence is what people in our communities as well as our country use to resolve issues. Statistics of gun violence is raising and the age of homicide is lowering. I'm really promoting this as a change because losing 2 people to gun violence and seeing the families hurt to the loss hits home. Young people need to understand we only live once, and taking someone's life, you're taking someone's baby, family member, or friend. With these campaigns in effect, hopefully you all will realize the change that is needed. Thank you.